First, and say real quick, thank you for the job that you all do. It's not an easy job, and we appreciate what you do. Let's pray. God, thank you so much for your many blessings. Thank you for giving us this time to come and talk over the business of this city. I pray for each and every council person and the mayor and the staff. And God, I pray you touch their lives and help them to make their decisions based on your word and to keep their eyes on you in everything they do and say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all so much for that. I appreciate it. At this time, I need a motion to approve our minutes from our May 19th, our May 19th, 2025, work session and regular meeting.
Make a motion approve both sets of minutes as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Tapley?
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilor Phillips?
Yay.
Chair? Yay. At this time, we need a motion to approve our agenda for tonight, June 2nd, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Tapley?
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilor Phillips?
Yay.
Chair? Yay. At this time, we will hear reports from standing committees, finance committee. Everybody's working hard, doing what they need to do. We appreciate the job that they do. We ask them to continue. We know that our finance director is traveling. We ask for traveling grace for her and prayers for her family. So thank y'all for that. Public Safety Committee, Councilor Eric Brown.
Yes, there's always opportunities to serve with the Alexander City Police Department, also the Alexander City Fire Department. We always have openings. We're always looking for good men or women to be part of the team here. So, anybody with a desire to have a career in public safety, please send them our way. We'd love to have them.
Utilities Committee, Councilor Phillips.
The water department repaired 14 leaks, installed 3 new services and 34 of the new AMI meters. And the downtown water project has been completed. In the sewer department, the employees attended a pipe welding class for training on a new fusing machine, and will soon begin installing approximately 3 miles of pipe to tie in Willow Point, the Willows, Willow Glen, and Glen Haven to the city newer sewer force main down 63. They completed hydro excavation for the force mains to locate utilities for boring at the new power substation on Dable Road. And 90 grease permits have been issued for the city food service facilities using the new online registration process.
Parks and Recreations, in the absence of Councilor Chris Brown, we will host a ribbon cutting ceremony this Friday, June 6th at 10 a.m. at 6th Street Park. Ribbon cutting is open to the public. We hope everyone in the community is able to attend. Registration for swim lessons is still ongoing at acpr.regdesk.com. Classes fill up fast, so get your child registered today. Private pool party reservations can be made online at acpr.regdesk.com. Spots are limited, so book your summer pool party soon. Our summer pool schedule is Whack-Off Pool at Cooper Rec is open Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for open swim from 1 to 5 p.m. Our city pool is open Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for open swim from 1 to 5 p.m. There is a $4 entry fee whether you are swimming or not. We thank Parks and Rec for what they do. Buildings and Property, Councilor Tapley. Hold on. Public Works Committee, Councilor Eric Brown's gonna give us that one.
The new recycling center will be accepting materials beginning June 9th, 2025. We want to thank the citizens for their patience and understanding during this transition to the new facility, which is located at the corner of Joseph Street and First Way. We're excited to be able to continue to offer the recycling service to the citizens at this new location. Very nice building.
Buildings and Property, Councilor Tapley.
I'd probably like to add on the recycling center, but they probably have to have a policeman out there to direct traffic. many phone calls I had that want to recycle. So I know Drew said he didn't realize how much the Elk City recycled. We started getting phone calls, and I've had several. But getting back on my part, I think the summer reading program kicked off today. It's Charles E. Bailey Sportsplex. For some reading activities during the month of June and July, you can go on the city's library's website, Facebook, Instagram, or the library's newsletter. They also will have a adult summer reading program at our library, and you can contact the library director out there for details. And June 4th, drawing classes, they still have open for those classes. So if you want to learn how to draw more than a stick man, give them a call. They'll be happy to help you. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. No reports from special committee. At this time, we would like to announce our vacancy for District 3 due to Mr. Hardy moving on. We also have a vacancy for our pro tem. Let me tackle the vacancy for District 3 first, council members. My take on that, since we are in an election year, is we hold off and don't do anything since election happens in August. And that whoever wins that election, we place them in that seat. That doesn't give anybody an unfair advantage, if you ask me. Moving forward from that, then we just have to do what we've been doing today, making sure we're all gonna be here so we have a quorum at times. And that's my take on things. If you all are okay with that, we can do that. Or if you all want to go ahead and take letters of intent and go through that process of placing someone in District 3, it's whatever you all decide. Now let me know what y'all think.
I agree.
Yeah, and just as long as I know the league has a rule that you have to appoint somebody within 60 days, if not, the mayor can submit a name. So it all depends on whether we can legally do that or not.
I think because we're a class 6 municipality, we don't have that 60-day requirement.
Okay, well, great.
So that's where we are. So it's what you all want to do. That was just the easiest thing for me to come up with. We wouldn't have to worry about taking letters of interest and resumes and going on all of that, process, and then put someone in, and then somebody winning that election, and then we do something different. So whatever you all decide.
I think that's great. Honestly, if we did the 60 days, it's 1st of August anyway, so whoever's elected will know then, and then we can place them.
I think that's the most fair option.
Okay. But we do need to have a nomination for our pro tem at this time from one of you all.
I'm gonna make a nomination, Chris Brown take the pro temp position.
I'll second that.
Since he's not here, that's normally what happens. I get nominated, so.
He's gonna love you,
I'm writing this down, just hold on.
Eric didn't take any time to second.
He did not.
He's a very qualified person for that position.
Oh my gosh. So we have, Chris Brown, who has been nominated as our pro tem. It has been second. Any discussion?
I think Chris will do a fine job.
Roll call vote. Counselor Tapley?
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown?
Yay.
Counselor Phillips?
Yay.
Chair? Yay. Takes care of that. At this time, we will hear from Mr. Nick Holmes.
I have some handouts.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's what you said.
Yeah, just that and what we talked about.
Okay.
So the Lake Martin Area Industrial Development Authority has received 2 applications for tax abatements. Both of those companies are within the city limits, and so I do have to come to you guys to get approval for the Industrial Development Authority to abate city taxes. So we'll start with company 1. I've given you a project description about what they will be doing. They're basically adding complete new production lines. This is a new customer, new product, so it will be completely new production lines. They will be creating 40 new jobs to fulfill those contracts, and you can see what their current numbers are, and that they currently have no open abatements.
All right.
And, on the third page, you can see if you decide to approve this abatement, what the amount in sales tax would be, the city's portion of that. Under tax savings, that's what you would be, foregoing.
Okay.
You're not losing it, it's not taking it out of any money that you have, you just wouldn't be collecting that money. And then the fourth page is the property tax portion of the abatement. I've broken it down to what the city amount would be, and, also went with 5 years. You can see if you just did a 5-year abatement instead of a 10-year abatement. We automatically just calculate 10 because that's statutorily, that's the limit that you can give, but it can be anywhere from 1 to 10 years, whatever you decide to approve, if you approve it.
Okay. All right.
So that is company number 1. Company number 2, this would basically be retooling. They're not adding any new production lines. Some of the models have changed out, so they need to change their molds and tooling out to accommodate the new model changes. You can see that there is no associated job creation, but they are our largest employer in the area, and you can see what their numbers currently are. And,
Denise. Oh, my God.
sorry. Is that better?
Everybody, you're fine.
So you can see what their current employment numbers are, and that they're one of our higher paying companies. But they do currently have 11 open abatements. And, I know the last time we talked about trying to limit the amount of open abatements. It is significantly higher investment, so you can see on the third page what the city would be foregoing in sales tax. Significant number. And then fourth page would be what you would be foregoing, as far as property tax. So if you decide to approve, I would need a vote and a resolution, that I could take back to the Industrial Development Authority for when I file the abatement. I have to have a resolution saying that you agreed to abate your city taxes.
Do you,
Any questions?
what would, so your recommendation?
I'm not going to recommend one way or the other, but I would like to advocate a little bit for Company 1. They are, one of those little engines that could. They've been very consistent since they located in Alex City. They have a significant employment number. You can see the pay is a little less than the other company, but it's because they're tier 2, whereas the other company's tier 1.
And this is new business, so it's adding.
Yeah, they're adding employees, adding customers, adding a new production line.
Okay.
And just to remind you, I will have to do the same thing with the county commission, to get their approval for the county portion of the taxes as well.
Yeah, sure.
I think I agree with what we spoke before, company number 2 having 11 abatements out. I think we've handed over fist with them and been good to them. Company 1, I agree, something needs to be done to give them a little bit of help. I wouldn't want to give them 10 years. And I don't know if I want to give them 5. I was thinking maybe 3 or 4 to give them some help. I was wrong with 2.
I know. If you'll look at the proposal, that model that they're asking abatements on is only gonna be on sale for 4 years. So,
For the company 1.
you wouldn't want to give them abatements past that
4
production.
years, yeah.
I would recommend 3. I think that's probably what the county's gonna do. I think the biggest reason that companies ask for abatements is initially for the sales tax abatement. That's usually the more significant abatement. They're wanting that, not have to pay sales tax on their equipment purchases.
Yeah, I think I would stick with 3 years as well, but I'd like to see it not get an abatement to company number 2, since they have 11 currently open.
That's a lot. Yeah, of course, we talked about this before.
Right.
Okay. We will take that advisement and we'll get back with you, ma'am. We'll get taken care of.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
No report on status of city finances, no proclamations, no unfinished business. We do have, request for consent against agenda. Somebody can make that.
I guess I'd make a motion, we do a consent agenda from, items number 1 through 6, all 6 resolutions.
Second.
We have a motion to do consent agenda on items 1 through 6. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Chair, yay. At this time, we need to approve the consent agenda
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
for all 6 items.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Chair, yay. At this time, we will entertain public comments. We have Ms. Sandra Collins who would like to speak with us. Now, we have a new, well, we're using our system, so you have 3 minutes per speaker. All comments will come to the council. Once your 3 minutes was up, your mic will cut off and you will hear a sound, I think. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you all for honoring me to be here with you all, and I feel it is an honor to be here. And I just want to tell you all, 3 weeks ago on May 10th, I was almost killed on 280. It was a miracle from God that I wasn't killed. And I had to go to a funeral, a little cousin, 14 years old. She had her service at New Hope Baptist Church. And we were on COVID Abbott Road. And so it was raining that morning. And as I was looking to wait to go turn across, I thought, I can't see real well. I'm gonna go on. So when I did, the next thing I knew, I turned towards west, towards Alexander City, instead of going north. This car saw me coming. She said she's coming, and she swerved, and if she hadn't, I would have been right into my side. And it started at the bottom of the wheel and it cut off the front of my truck. So I thank God that He was with me. I know He is with everything that I do. And whatever goes in the future for all of us, I pray that we all work together and be the best that we can be. And I know that God has a good future for all of us. And also, I want to recognize Ms. Lieutenant Sharonda Cross. She gave me a ride in the police car to my home because I didn't have anyone to come and bring me home. And I'd like to thank all the officers as well. They were very good to me. And I thank you all for everything. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would also be hearing from Mr. Mark Lamborn tonight.
Thank y'all. I know this is a city council meeting and y'all have honored us with the privilege to be able to speak to y'all. But the kind of deal that I'd like the council to kind of look at, 5 years ago, y'all agreed to a sewer rate program. This council voted it and agreed to it. Now we come up and we decide we're not gonna follow that rate, but we don't have anything to back it back up. And this is going on several months. Your sewer department's getting worse and worse financially because you don't have any funds to put back into it. I think it's time y'all got up to make a decision. And there's a lot of people have made comments that this happened, especially on an election year. I'm not saying comments if you did it or not, But, you know, things like, well, I didn't vote on a rate increase in the election year. I'm just saying, the sewer department needs something done now, one way or the other. Go back to the deal you originally agreed to, or come up with a way to fix it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You want to hear something?
We actually,
I'm gonna say it with his way.
okay, yeah, go ahead, you start.
To answer that, we've been waiting on, Lynn and his team to come up with, we had different options on the table, started out by Councilman Brett Phillips to maybe look at the situation from different angles to make sure that, of course, every one of us want to handle this situation. That's been something that's been on our shoulders the whole time, Bobby longer than us with our sewer issue. So we're all more than aware of that problem. So with Councilman Phillips putting up some different options, so we're like, well, let's look at this from different angles instead of just a one idea and that's the only idea. So Lynn and his team have a new program, from my understanding, that they are working on, that we can put all these scenarios together so that everybody can sit right here and see that, so we can make a well-informed decision that we have looked at all the options. Just that it happened to be on the election year, maybe be by chance, because I'm not running. I want the right thing to be done regardless. So we are definitely in waiting of that from the city, from Lynn and his team, so that we can make a well-informed decision that we're making the best choice for the citizens, whether we're getting reelected or not getting reelected.
Yeah,
Anything you want to add?
no, I would just say that, number one, I was not one that voted for it, obviously because I came in here in August of last year, but, we have been discussing it. We've discussed it almost every meeting as far as when we will be able to see the numbers, see what the different scenarios look like, and see if there's a better way to do this, or if there's a different way to do this, rather than put more higher rates, sewage rates on the citizens. So I believe that's going to be happening here very soon, possibly the next work session. I'm not sure as far as the schedule of Lynn and where they're at with that, but I do know that they have been working hard on it.
First off, I'd like to say that it was not the city staff's prerogative to come up with a solution to a problem that's created by the council. But the staff did most graciously go with that, and in fact came up with six solutions. And y'all looked at them, you didn't like them. So you created 3 more. They crunched numbers on those, and they will be presented in the work session. And the waterworks people actually would like to, I don't know if Lynn's gonna have them present themselves by Zoom or Teams, but they wanted to speak to y'all and explain to you why and how you support the sewer system. And because they've looked at these numbers, and the last 3 scenarios are still not panning out.
Well, the presentation was given to us, not all the data was in every single one of the 6 things that was given to us, scenarios. There was only one scenario that had all the data. So therefore, we want to make sure that, I think it's our due diligence, that the city government's business. And if the uniqueness of the city business versus every other business like myself, I have to make my customers happy, or they choose not to use me, they choose something else. With a local government, any government, the citizens have no choice. They only have one choice, and they have to go by whatever's done by that group. It's our job as representative, as the go-to people, if we don't like what we see, we know that our people don't like what they see because we hear it. It's our job to say, hey guys, can we do something else? Can it get better?
I agree.
Well, the data you speak of, a lot of it was the Willow Point revenue. The Willow Point revenue will not be realized probably sometime in 27, so it did not apply to the solutions currently.
But it was in one of the scenarios.
It was listed.
It happened to line up with the original scenario.
But it doesn't, but you couldn't estimate it. I mean, you can't estimate the Willow Point, but we don't know how many of those people are going to come on. So it's hard to estimate.
But whatever numbers were put in the last one could have been put in all of them, is all I'm saying.
We also know that Wind Creek and them coming on sewage has produced significantly higher revenue than what was expected. The Willows, Willow Point, Wicker, all those are tying in very soon.
What do you thoughts on it?
Well, we're doing the welding on it to tie in.
No.
I just announced
That's
that.
the fusion machine. That is for joining HDPE.
Well,
plastic pipe together.
Sorry for my terminology. Fusing. I would announce that they're working on that.
They're working on it, but you're looking at approximately, let me see, this is June. We hope to have the Willow Zone and by the first of the year. So it's not, nothing's gonna happen quick. And then Willow Point, like I said, you won't see any revenue unless the internal force main, low pressure force main is installed in Willow Point. Until that's done, you're not gonna see any significant revenue whatsoever from Willow Point. So that's not even started yet. So if that was gonna be done, it would need to be starting now. This is gonna take them a year to do that in there with a gated community where you have people living.
What we initially did, should have had an increase for 25 and 26. Even with the increase for 25 and 26, our numbers would still not be realized as to covering our sewer costs. So the council members, different ones, us, all of us, some of us, wanted to make sure that we got a scenario that worked for us. This all started because of a conversation that started with myself and Mr. Brad Phillips about asking to add a line item to our hotels, which I thought was a great idea, and I still think it's a great idea because it puts it on the people who rent. Because I promise you, when you call to get a rental at a hotel, you don't say, what's my tax? What's my tax? You ask and say, what's your room rate? Some of the council members don't think that's a good idea. That's fine. So what we asked for, we had 2 different scenarios we want to add to the 6 that we already had, because we wanted to see if those panned out the way it did. When you look at those 6 scenarios, 5 of them don't even pan out. Only 1 of them did. One of them, like Councilman Brown said, did have some extra incentives or stuff added into that. We just wanted to make sure we're doing the right job we can to get the right numbers. Most of the scenarios we have, none of them will cover the cost, including the 5-year cost that we had, doing the increase at 7% in 25 and an increase in 26, we still would not be where we needed to be. So that's why the council wanted to go back and look at it. We did put this on our agenda, our last work session. Maybe it was my fault and nobody conveyed that to the water department, to the mayor. We didn't get a report. They were not ready for anything, didn't have anything ready. They could have been busy. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get a report from them soon and we can make a decision on what we're gonna do. I don't think anybody up here is running from making a decision in a voting year, because we have to make a decision all the time. But I just think it just so happened that there were so many complaints in January about the cost of sewer. And I can tell you, if you got a light bill and the sewer is higher than your electric, there's a problem. For me, for anybody else, if your sewer bill is 200 and your electric is 60, something wrong somewhere. So I was the one who said I wanted to hold off on sewer, because I really felt like with the sewer being as high as it is, increasing it by 7% in 25 and in 26 was not gonna be a good look. I was not worried about election year, and I'm still not worried about election year. I was worried about making sure we're doing the best thing we can to get the best bang for a buck, especially in a society where everything is much higher than anything else we're doing, ever done in the world, I believe. But we gotta make sure we're doing the best thing we can for our citizens. They are the people who employ our employees. They are the people who pay those bills. We have to make sure we're doing the right thing for them first. So that's why we are where we are now. Once we get those scenarios from that department, we will figure out where we're gonna go from there. And I don't think anybody has a problem making this decision about that, because we know we have to make a decision. Is that correct? All right, so that's where we are.
Comparing one utility to the other, you're paying more for one utility than the other, electric to sewer. is like comparing apples and oranges. It's all relative according to the usage of the customer. So that doesn't show.
While it may be
Let
relative,
Let
it may
me
be
finish. I
relative.
didn't interrupt you. Let me finish, please. Now, I asked y'all, I stood right here and asked you on January 7th, not to rescind those rates until you had something to replace them, and you didn't do it. So far, and you're wrong about the 7% increases, the 5-year plan that we had with the 7% increases, with the additional customers we're bringing on, by the end of 26, we would have been at the break-even point.
So worst case scenario would be the middle of
Okay,
26.
excuse me, the scenario that we received had the 7-year increases for 25 and 26, and the Willows, and everything else pulled into it. That's why it broke even. Hence what Councilman Brown said. All I'm saying is, we will make a decision when we get information that shows us what will be the intake of the scenarios we gave you. We had a couple of council members who asked if we look at different scenarios to see if that worked. That's why we came back and asked for that of the mayor. That's where we are. That's what we're going to do. At this time, I need comments from the mayor.
Just like to let everybody, I want everybody to understand, when you go home tonight, taste your water. If you live in the city, taste your water, tell me what it's like. If we had any complaints, anybody complaining about your water right now? Any complaints? I hadn't had any complaints, any calls, hadn't seen any complaints on Facebook or anything else. You know why? Because we've had rain, a continual rain for the last 2 or 3 months. So it doesn't allow the algae to propagate. Now, when the rain stops, we're probably gonna have a problem. But I just want to let everybody know that it is nature and it is a weather-related problem. We are installing some, one more chemical additive that we haven't been doing at the Adams plant, and they're working on that right now, trying to get the injection site installed. Secondly, I wish everybody would please, keep Ms. Romy Stamps and her family in your prayers, because she has a brother in California that's not doing well, and that's the reason she's not here tonight. Thank you.
Comments from the city clerk?
As you all are aware, qualifying for municipal elections begins next Tuesday, June 10th at 8 a.m. Piper or I will be available from 8 a.m. June 10th until 4:30 every day, except June 19th, which is a city holiday. The last day to qualify is June 24th at 5 p.m. So one of us will be here during those hours at all times. Meanwhile, if you're looking for any information about qualifying, everything you could ever want to know can be found on our website. Just go to the City Clerk and there's a link for municipal election. Outside that, June 16th is our next work session and city council meeting at 4:30 and 5:30.
Comments from the council, Councilor Tapley?
Not much. I thank everybody for coming out, city council, the mayor and staff, everything y'all do to keep the city running. And not only pray for Romy's family, there's a lot of death in this town right now. So a lot of people being called home, so pray for those families. Make sure you're living right, because you don't know when your day's gonna come up. So just, do what's right in life. That's all. Thank you.
Councilor Eric Brown?
Thank everybody for coming out. I'd like to congratulate Councilman Brown for the pro tem spot. I'd like to thank the mayor and his staff. Everybody in the city does a really good job. They really do. I can't say anything bad about everybody, because they care about what they do. Every employee, I promise you, cares. They do work their best to give every citizen the best product they can. So when you see a city worker, pat them on the back, tell them thank you, because they really have a thankless job. I would just like to see y'all have a great rest of the week. See you next time.
Councilor Brett Phillips?
Yeah, thank everybody for being here tonight. Prayers for Romy. Her family has experienced a couple of tough times in a pretty short period of time, so definitely prayers for them. Thank you for all the city staff and the hard work they do. We love to hear positive comments about any of the public employees. Thank you for your comments tonight. And then especially on the utilities, water and sewer, those folks have really been working hard, the last several months, really trying to fix the problems that they could, and I think we've seen progress on that, as the mayor said. So, just appreciate all their hard work.
Thank you all so much for coming out. We do appreciate it. Our prayers are with Ms. Romy, for her and her family. I ask you all to continue to pray for this council, this administration. We thank our city employees. I want you all to know that no matter what happens, every council member that's up here is concerned about our citizens. Our citizens are our city employees, bosses. They actually are the people that we serve for. We don't serve for ourselves because we don't matter in this equation. The only person that matters is our citizens. They are the important part of this puzzle. If we can't cater to those citizens, then we are not doing our job as council members. We don't look out for those citizens, then we are not doing our job as council members. So I want you all to know that no matter what, every council member up here knows that I expect us to do the best job that we can do anytime we are anywhere. And we know that we're not gonna do things to set us in a wrong situation or a bad situation. We're only looking for the best solution for our citizens. Thank you all so much for coming out, and again, continue to pray for us and this council and this administration. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thank y'all.